The Bible is a complex and multifaceted text that has been interpreted and understood in countless ways throughout history. Despite its significance, mainstream media often fails to capture the true essence and lessons of the Bible, instead presenting a watered-down or distorted version of its teachings. This is due to a variety of factors, including the commercialized nature of media, the lack of depth and understanding of biblical context, and the tendency to sensationalize and entertain rather than educate. One of the primary reasons why mainstream media is unable to convey the true lessons of the Bible is that it is primarily driven by commercial interests. Media outlets are often more concerned with attracting large audiences and generating revenue than with providing accurate and in-depth analysis of biblical teachings. As a result, they tend to focus on sensational and attention-grabbing stories rather than exploring the deeper themes and messages of the Bible. This can lead to superficial understanding of the text and can even perpetuate misconceptions and misunderstandings. Another issue with mainstream media's portrayal of the Bible is a lack of context and understanding of its historical and cultural background. The Bible is a text that was written in a specific time and place, and its teachings and stories must be understood within that context. However, mainstream media often fails to provide this context, instead presenting the Bible as a timeless and universal text that can be applied to any situation. This can lead to misinterpretations and misapplications of biblical teachings, and can even perpetuate harmful and discriminatory attitudes. Furthermore, mainstream media often approaches the Bible from a secular perspective, which can lead to a lack of understanding of its spiritual and theological significance. The Bible is a text that is deeply rooted in faith and spirituality, and its teachings and stories must be understood within that framework. However, mainstream media often tries to reduce the Bible to a mere historical or literary text, stripping it of its spiritual and theological significance. This can result in a shallow and superficial understanding of the Bible, and can even lead to a dismissal of its teachings as irrelevant or outdated. In addition, mainstream media often relies on so-called experts or scholars who may not have a deep understanding of the Bible or its teachings. These individuals may be more concerned with promoting their own agendas or ideologies than with providing accurate and insightful analysis of the Bible. As a result, mainstream media's portrayal of the Bible can be biased and misleading, and can even perpetuate harmful and divisive attitudes. Finally, the 24-hour news cycle and social media have created a culture of soundbites and quick fixes, where complex issues and ideas are reduced to simplistic and superficial summaries. This can be particularly problematic when it comes to the Bible, which is a complex and nuanced text that requires careful study and reflection. Mainstream media's tendency to reduce the Bible to simplistic and superficial soundbites can lead to a lack of understanding and a misapplication of its teachings. In order to truly learn the lessons of the Bible, it is necessary to engage with the text in a more nuanced and thoughtful way. This can involve reading and studying the Bible itself, rather than relying on mainstream media's interpretation of it. It can also involve seeking out diverse perspectives and interpretations, including those of scholars, theologians, and faith leaders. Ultimately, the true lessons of the Bible can only be learned through a deep and abiding engagement with the text, and a willingness to approach it with humility, respect, and an open mind. By doing so, we can gain a richer and more nuanced understanding of the Bible and its teachings, and can apply its lessons in a more thoughtful and meaningful way.